It's not the hope that kills you. It's Jamal sales.
Never true words spoken.
مساء الخير جميعا. نقدر نقول هارد لك اليوم نيوكاسل ما ندري ايش نقول صراحة لكن نقول ان شاء الله انه لسه في امل. آه، كان ممكن نفوز هي اخر الدقائق فقط. هذه الغلطة اللي احنا شايفينها وما هي غلطة جمال السلس، هي الدفاع بشكل كامل. يعني تراجعنا كثير في الخلف. I know welcome Chris. I know we didn't want to speak much about the team about the game today, but I want just a quick comment on it before we start. I noticed that we tried to defend this goal instead of scoring a support goal or second goal.
Salam alaikum. Masal
So,
khair.
so
um, yeah, it just seems like when we go up 1-0, um, Eddie Howe said that we played in a like a defensive mode that broke down. But I mean, we haven't replaced. We all know that the issues are at the back. You know, not only with Jamal Lascelles, but like really only Kieran Trippier, our recent acquisition, is adequate at the back, and we need three more defenders and to get rid of Lascelles.
and defense midfielder as well.
Yes, I mean, it just seemed like the club just doesn't have the heart to defend the last 10 minutes. You know, same with Brentford. A lot of games that where we had the early lead or we had the late lead, and they just can't go protect a 1-0 lead. I mean, this is not new this year, but it's especially acute this year because every with the poor start, we still have only won one of the first 20 games now. Um, every point, every game that we don't win seems like 2 points dropped rather than a point gained. So it's pretty depressing.
Yeah, and all the writers and journalists says that we lost 21 points this season from winning positions.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, so what do we have for our show? I know it's difficult to talk now, but let's it's as I said, still hope. 3 4 points, it's not far. So and we have still 16 days, and we really need, we really need CB, center backs, defense midfielder immediately.
Yeah, I don't usually begin or include at all a tweet from Luke Edwards, but in this case, I think he's spot on. Um, so he says, same old story, same mistakes, same weaknesses, same outcome. One clean sheet all season and one win. They go hand in hand, but still no center back signed 2 weeks into the window. Same players who couldn't break down Cambridge United last weekend are the same players who drop deep and can't get out to relieve pressure when they try to cling to a lead. I don't think you can change or improve them on the training ground, so they have to be replaced now. And
Can't ag-
here's the
can't
killer.
agree more. Can't agree more.
This means that the owners need to pay what needs to be paid to get the players we have known for months they need. Seems to be taking a lot. This is a bit of a cheap shot at the owners, but I kind of agree with him. Seems to be taking a lot of pride in not paying over the odds, like paying too much for anyone, from what I've heard. But it's January FFS, which means for fuck's sake. um, you pay a premium. It's a seller's market. So we don't usually give Luke Edwards props on this show, but or any shows, but I think he's spot on here. And you know, the owners have talked about you know we're going to spend responsibly, but I don't think that like squeezing or being squeezed. Being squeezed is better than squeezing and have no deal for Botman and Carlos. Get Botman and Carlos in, and get the left back from Germany. I forgot his name. Get him in.
But Christian, why should be these names? There is another defenders. Look Watford. They bring defenders by 2 million or 3 millions. Bring defender like 10 million, 15 million price. We're not gonna see any. I think we're gonna be much more better.
Let me teach you a word which I don't think is even a word in British English, but it's a word from American English. I think that Newcastle and maybe myself have been known to suffer from what's called one-itis, which means that you believe that there's only one girl or one center back for you. So I believe that we are so keen, so in love with Botman and Carlos that we can't. That's the girl for us. That's the hot property. We've got to get them, and we don't consider anyone else. And that's the thing. It's like, and it's the same thing in dating. When a girl knows that you are desperate for her, but that doesn't necessarily make her attracted to you, and so she's sort of saying like, well, you're so desperate for me, but I can have any guy that I want.
We all have been this situation. Does we get the girl? No.
Yeah. So Dave, I'm relating the pursuit of Botman and Carlos to dating. They're the hot girls on the property, and we're sort of like the new guy that shows up he just got money, so he's got the Ferrari, and he's got the Rolex, and he pulls up and he asks the girl, "Hey, do you fancy a spin?"
All right, that's a great rant by you, Chris.
And so far, they're like, "Well, okay, so you've got the great car and you've got the great watch, but what's in it for me?" Exactly. You're 19th.
That's a great rant by you, Chris. Welcome, Dave. I know it's very hard to speak. I can't tell from your physical expressions, but it's not over. It's not over yet. We still have hope. And we're just talking with Chris that there is another defenders. Why we should wait for Botman or Lille or Batshel Monaco or what? There is another defenders. Look to Watford. They buy their defenders by 4 or 5 millions only. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why we can bring some class B? Shouldn't be class A. Class B defender. It will be great.
Yeah, but you can imagine how that would go down with all the fans, can't you? The fact is that we, like Chris says, with a new kid on the block, with a lot of money in my pocket, and the first thing we do is we buy bargain basement players, and it's not as high profile as everybody wants it to be. So that's why we're going after people with fairly decent credentials. Botman and Carlos. There are better players. We know there's much better players, and there are a lot worse players. But Cadeni, you know what? Today, it wasn't so much the defense today. The midfield was absolutely non-existent.
Yeah,
non-existent. Defense midfield, they can't do anything.
No, so the thing is, we were getting the ball, and we're playing the ball in, and there was only one other player in the box. And that was Wood, and it was ridiculous. They dropped off. There was a massive gap between Wood up front and the midfield.
Yeah, and you are right. He trying to get back to get the ball.
Yeah,
he was away from the box to get the ball, which is ridiculous.
have one new player update, which relates to what my rant just went. But we can.
Yeah, sure. Go.
I don't
Yeah, sure.
enough.
No, sure. Go on, Chris, because we know that Monaco, Batchel is off, Botman is off. We're just waiting Diego Carlos for defenders so far.
Well, Newcastle United have made a £25 million bid for Atalanta left back Robin Gosens, who is the German international who played in the Euros for Germany.
The one we discussed in the morning.
Yes. But they're reporting now that we've actually we didn't have any numbers or any bid now, but yeah, supposedly we made a £25 million bid.
اي طبعا هذا اللاعب الالماني مدافع الايسر الظهير الايسر لاتلانتا اللي حكينا عنه اليوم في حلقه الصباح عن انه دخل الفتره الحره وانه تقريبا الحين كريس يقول انه عرضوا عليه 25 مليون للحصول عليه. الماني ظهير ايسر في نادي اتلانتا الايطالي.
We mentioned this morning that he had agreed to personal terms, but we didn't know what that was. This says there's a verbal contract, verbal just meaning talk, nothing on paper, ready for the German international from Newcastle. So it'll be 4 years, 2.9 million per year, which is, I think it's he's on. The thing is, I heard he's only on like £50,000 a week at his club in Germany, so or France, wherever he is. So 2.9 million is, I think, is less than Trippier.
Yeah,
Trippier's making. Yeah.
But again, with left back, we need centre back, defense midfielder. So I think more priority.
We need left back and centre backs. Yes,
of course.
Yeah. I mean, Dummett played today. He was a lot more solid than what Richie would be.
Actually, I was happy with him today. Really, Dummett.
Yeah, he was okay, but he's just too slow. He's too slow and thinking, what am I going to do with this ball? What am I going to do with this ball? And the number of times Joe Linton and Alan Saint-Maximin got in each other's way, they were tripping over each other's feet. So, but it didn't seem to be another out ball. It didn't seem to be something else to go with. So I don't know if that's because Richie wasn't there to give that extra out ball to another wing or something like that. But Shelby and Longstaff, Shelby was always facing the wrong way. He was always sideways and backwards.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, Dave, but for me, I can't say Shelby and Staff anymore. I want them to be replaced.
Yeah, I have an update on. I crunched the numbers for the German defender, and 2.9 million contract over the year per week is only £55,769 a week.
So we need agreement we need agreement from the club, or buying the 6 month left, or what's exactly?
So we need to convince his club from Atalanta, which is in Spain.
Yeah, Italy.
I'm making the same mistake that somebody else was like, why would we buy from Atlanta? Almiron is crap. It's like, no, Almiron came from Atlanta United MLS, but this guy is from Atalanta in Spain. Yeah, so I mean, 2.9 million.
Yeah, it was
55,000 a week. It's not very much.
It's not an awful lot. Not for somebody who you want to turn around your fortunes. The centre back, and the left back are important.
Yeah, we're gonna pay over the odds for that.
We are going to have to get at least. Honestly, I was talking to Holly and her dad Dave today.
Yeah.
At the match, and at half time when we got together, we were talking, and it says, "Look, we might as well just sack off the whole team."
Yeah.
Sack off the whole team. Keep Trippier and Wood, but the rest of them aren't. And she says, "Oh, but Dubravka as well." I says, "Why Dubravka?" I says, "When that young lad from Manchester's available." She says, because I love Dubravka. It's his birthday today. You know, and I was thinking, all right.
It's I told you before, it doesn't have to change much. It's only 3 players in the middle, and the things will change. Trust me.
Watching that today, there's a massive need for a complete overhaul. You cannot. Lascelles was absolutely giving the ball away. Bad back passes, tripping over the ball.
He's Father Christmas. All he does is gifts.
Yeah.
Dave,
there was a lot of players just didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. On a sort of positive note, if we can find any positive. Well, I really wanted to get this win for Dave Harrison. So can you tell us what was it like in the stadium during the 69th minute? Because I was on a kind of a dodgy stream, so I didn't really get the full effect of the minutes.
It was right around the ground. It was obviously from where I am, you can't see the score. You can't see the screen.
You sit where? Where do you sit?
I sit in the Gallagher.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't see the screens on the top right hand corner of the lasers. But I couldn't see that. But you know, when the clock ticked over the 68 minutes, and then the crowd just all the crowd just got up. A
standing ovation. Wow.
A lot of the crowd was standing.
Wow.
The majority of the crowd was standing, and it was really.
But why 68 exactly?
Like 60, it was 69th. So it's 69th minute was during the 69th minute.
Yeah.
So 68 minutes are gone within the 69th minute. That's how old Dave was.
The old, yeah.
We have confirmation from people that could see it that did the screen, because they didn't show it on TV. Did the screen show him his name? We don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the name and picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even the commentator.
Yeah,
in Arabic say the name in Arabic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was It was well appreciated. You know, he deserved what he got.
Yeah.
He deserved the round of applause that he got.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Finished off that win for Dave Harrison.
Yeah, today as well. I mean, when I was collecting, and did you know I was smiling when I was collecting? By the way.
Yeah, we saw your photo you sent us. So.
Yeah, I posted it on Twitter.
Yeah, and then people were putting £20 notes in and £10 notes in. I think a lot of that was out of respect for Dave as well. You know, a lot of people were there were putting money in out of respect for Dave.
I was so glad that that I got to meet him at the Christmas party, and he came up to me and introduced himself, and he couldn't have been nicer. It's just
very nice man.
Gentleman.
Always had nice words to say about people.
Yeah.
Was always enthused, and he worked so tirelessly for the food bank. He deserved a round of applause today. He deserved that.
Yeah.
And God rest his soul. I'm not a religious man, but
no.
He deserved that, and brilliant for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, and hopefully, at least, we draw, and hopefully we give him, or gift for the Leeds game. So Leeds game Saturday, 1 week from now, or less than 6 days. So maybe this is it 1 sign, 2 signs? Because, and who's gonna be? Which position you believe? Center back, defense midfielder. It's gonna be nice if we have defense and because you can't tell today, regardless of the score, you can't tell we play better because we have Woods. I know he didn't get, but he really.
I thought he was kind of invisible myself. I don't know.
He was okay. He was doing great. He was fighting. He was marked.
Yeah.
He gave spaces to his colleague. But for me, I think still we need someone behind him. Really, staff and Shelby, they are not gonna do anything ever. As you said, as you said, Chris, they are not gonna improve on training ground.
Yes, Long-
sorry, not you. It was
Luke Edwards. Yes.
Edwards.
Dave, I began of all people. I began with a tweet thread from Luke Edwards, but he was spot on.
Yeah.
Give the guy some credit. Longstaff, I'm just so he can't do the job. So
do you know what today was? What the hardest thing about today was the fact is that Norwich won easily against Everton.
Yes,
And, we could have easily been out of that bottom three if we had applied ourselves better. Fair enough, you had what?
3 minutes. 3 minutes. I couldn't hold 3 minutes.
Yeah. Wait, the thing is, after we scored the goal, we backed off. We're backed off.
Yeah, just take our foot off the gas.
Yeah, they did. But I think when it was probably tiredness, and I think Howe made the mistake of not bringing the substitutes on when he should have. He left it too late. Left it far too late. He had Miggy. He had at one point he had Miggy stripped off to come on, and he was ready to come on, and then he made Miggy put his top back on and set him back on the touchline again. And I thought, well, why didn't you bring him on? And he left it far too late. I'm not going to slag him off.
Yeah,
but he you could tell how annoyed and upset he was today because when the goal went in, I looked over at him and he had his water bottle and he threw his water bottle on the floor in absolute anger. But
how right?
How
yeah. I did that, but I read about that.
Yeah, he was not happy at all. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's got them all back in training tomorrow. I wouldn't give them a day off. I'll have them all back in training tomorrow because you cannot continue. And if we managed to do what Norwich had done, we would have been out the bottom three. But yes, that's good. That result today did one thing in our favour.
Rafa is gone.
Way
on his way out.
Yeah, Rafa will be gone.
Confirmed?
No, I mean, but he will go.
He good as done.
Yeah, but the thing is, what it also did was it kept Everton. There's technically there's another team now in that relegation battle.
It's in the relegation battle, yeah.
Yeah, so they're only 6 points off the third bottom.
Do you think that the Everton owners will panic and replace?
Yeah, because there was a protest after the game tonight. We've heard there was protests after the game tonight. Fans had banners on Rafa out.
Yeah, I don't understand that hiring in the first place. I mean, very clearly when there was links to him, there was a backlash, and it was like for a while it seemed like, okay, this backlash is going to overtake this hire, and there's no way they're going to go through it. And then they kind of just said, "F it, we're going to hire him anyways." Forget what half the fans say. We've got the fans will come around, and none of the fans that were against him have come around. And I would say some of the fans that were with him have gone. This is not an Everton show, but I mean, but I think that Everton's predicament under Rafa, as you said, Dave, bears very well on our relegation, because we were talking about 4 or 5 teams in a mini league, but you've got to add Everton to that.
And Leeds as well. So up to Everton.
6. So it's
going to be 3 from them 6.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think we might be one.
3 from 4, but it's going to be 3 from 6 now.
Yeah, and that's the difference. That game there. What Mego says there is Watford against Burnley. We could be bottom of the league.
Yeah,
and Watford could be out of reach. You know what I mean? It's not right. It's not fair.
If Burnley win, yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
but the thing is, we've got a game in hand on Norwich. Yeah.
For me, the right signing could be and make a huge difference. Today, I watched Manchester and Aston Villa. It was 2-0, but when Coutinho came, I think he did assist and score a goal, change the game quickly. So sometimes just we need the right signing. And look to Van de Beek. He just be in at minute 88. Yani what's really, and he did great in those 2 minutes. So
we need him. We need
signings. How much? Finish. You don't like the price? Go to another player.
Yeah.
I think the management of Newcastle should be learned this 2 weeks. They should know better in coming 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to read a tweet from our friend Liam Kennedy.
Yeah, go on.
He says, hard to know where NFC go from here after that. Lacking quality, a clear plan, confidence. List is endless. A team that seems incapable of winning. This is the key part that I picked up on. Issues feel deeper than anything that can be arrested with some fantasy football transfer deals. So do we think that it's not only that Eddie Howe is losing confidence in the players that he has, that he wants to be better, but that the players that we have just aren't, for whatever reason, their heart isn't in it to do this relegation fight because they feel like, oh, we're going to be replaced eventually, if not this window, then next summer. So they're not putting themselves in the shop window or covering themselves in glory and being like, look, we've talked about incoming transfers. There's been no links. Nobody wants any of our players, and this has been the same. This has been the same for years. I mean, maybe only Almiron a couple of seasons ago was talking about, he's unhappy at Newcastle. He wants to go to La Liga or something like that. Like, let him go. We don't need him. We need quality, and Almiron is not quality enough. We're going to sort of live or die with St. Maximin, and so I'm not one that's saying like cash in on him now because I don't think his value is where we want it to be. Maybe next summer. But yeah.
What do you think now? The management will do, or the owners will do? They are panicking? They are gonna make a quick signing. Now our chosen defender is playing now the game in Copa del Rey. It's not. They've told us this is the game Seville was waiting, or they want Diego Carlos to play, but it's just the cup. It's not the league or the Liga, but maybe this cup is important for Seville. I don't know.
Yes, I think we're going to have to bring in Botman or Carlos this week.
But
forget the deadline, the end of the transfer window, deadline day. If we don't bring them in this week, we're not.
But Chris, I read a tweet today. I forget from whom. I think someone from France, Santo something, journalist, and he said, President of Lille, Mr. Oliveira, says Botman will never go this. He will go at summer, or he will stay the season, complete the season, no transfer.
It's just posturing to get the higher fee. We heard that report yesterday that he could go for 55 million euros, which is 47 million pounds. So, just we need a definitive. We'll pay that or not. None of us trying to get the best deal possible. We know what the deal is, so just pay it. Or
okay,
not.
what we need to beat Leeds?
Goals.
Yeah, goals.
Clean sheets.
Yeah, clean sheet and goals. If we get a clean sheet, we have a good chance of winning. And if we have a clean sheet and scoring.
How to make goals and clean sheet? Who we should sign more? One defender. Striker would is enough. As I can understand from all tweets, They are not happy with Wood today, but for me, I was fine with him. It's just the defense midfielder.
I think this game shows that our answer is not Ekitike. We can't bring in a 19-year-old when we're up against the wall. I mean, and we definitely need goals. We need veterans, Premier League veterans preferably. But I don't know. It seems like all of the strikers were linked to our European or South American because nobody in the Premier League is going to deal us a striker that can make the difference.
What do you think the management of Newcastle will do now? Or they have meeting now? What are they discussing? What their actions going to be, you think?
Wait, like I said, when I was talking to Holly and Dave, it wouldn't surprise me if the owners actually say to some of the players, go and find a new club. We're paying your contract up. We need you to go. We need you out of here. But what I think they'll also do is, right, okay, we need these signings. You know, we go and get these signings, and if they want 50 million quid for Botman, okay, they've got the money. Give them the 50 million quid.
Yeah.
If Carlos wants, if it's 47 million for Carlos, give them the 47 million. If it's 30 million for you, they've got to stump up. If they want us to stay in this league, which are now, I'm sorry to be so down, but which I now think is going to be quite tough.
Yeah.
Today's result, yes, it's only 2 points dropped, but
it's huge 2 points though. Yeah.
You know, that 2 point that could be that 2 points could have kept us up. Now they've got to go and they've got to be prepared to put their money where their mouth is and spend. If that's what they want to do, they need to spend. Whether that's a left back, centre mid, striker, defenders, centre backs, they've got to make that mind up. They can't keep just going from we need a left back, we need a centre midfield, we need the centre halves. They need to say priority is this and go in and get them.
Yes. I think to make a baseball analogy, and I know none of you guys follow baseball, but you've heard of this idea of Moneyball, and they've been using that term in football as well. It comes from America, and it comes from my hometown Oakland A's team, who you saw in the movie. And they were all about analytics and like crunching the numbers to find who is the unappreciated talents. But that might have been our approach going into the window, you know, getting somebody like Trippier or especially Wood is like a Moneyball type signing, like a guy who's performing but on an underperforming team. But I think we need to go from Moneyball to the New York Yankees now and just pay the top dollar for. Let's get those top guys on the market and just get them in. You know, we're going to make mistakes. Man City made mistakes early in the window, but Man City was not in a relegation battle when they got taken over. Our situation is desperate. And I think that you pay a couple million more now over what they're worth just to get the players in. That is certainly worth it compared to the financial hit you'll take by doing the drop and losing out on the Sky Sports, the TV money, 150 million. So yeah. I mean, I think the owners have been priding themselves on like we make smart, considered deals, and we're not going to get put over the barrel. But I mean, Newcastle's situation is like they're going on a barrel over Niagara Falls, and most people don't survive that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so they need to buck up and just pay the money and get those guys in or not, and stop this dragging out, squeezing on both sides. They're squeezing, we're squeezing. Just put up or shut up is what you say.
Yeah, I think today could have papered over the cracks for a week or so.
Yeah,
if we'd won.
He nearly got the win, and it wouldn't have been as good as a win because clearly in the second half Watford outplayed.
ملخص اللي يقوله كريس وديف اليوم انه خلاص يعني المفروض الان انه ندفع يعني باختصار. خلاص يعني عندك مبلغ جيب اللاعبين، لانه احنا الحين في وقت حرج. اذا ما جبت لاعبين الحين ما راح تقدر تجيب بعد 10 ايام. خلاص اذا انتهى السوق وراح تكمل بالموجود، وانتم شايفين الموجودين كيف وضعهم صعب، خصوصا محاور الدفاع وقلوب الدفاع. let's wrap up with this يعني enough with the signings. We know خلاص we know it's signings
finished.
But let's finish with Eddie Howe. A lot of people now blaming Eddie Howe. They're saying if you can see, he couldn't score in any game he coached maybe more than one goal. His change or exchange players, substitution, some mistakes always at the end. So how you see, nobody talking about Eddie Howe until today. Maybe if you can notice, he have lack of solution regarding substitution. If you see so,
I'm going to flip the question there on you and say that the concern that all of us heard with Eddie Howe coming in is that his teams ship the most goals. He doesn't know how to organize a defense. I think probably we have better defenders than he ever had at Bournemouth. But still, I mean, he had Ake, he had other people that had went off to Man City and other places. If our defenders go anywhere after this, it'll probably be the championship or below. So in that respect, he can only, up until this point, he can only deal with the team that he was given. And he hasn't made the moves. It's not up to him ultimately. He might be the most important voice in terms of who they go after, but in terms of who they actually bring in, he doesn't have the final say, and he doesn't have he can't go into Amanda Staveley's office or the Nicky Hammond and say, for fuck's sake, just pay the $50 million for Carlos or Botman.
I think he can. Why he can't? He can. Why not?
But,
I don't think it just the way that head coaches deal, and he's new to this regime. He doesn't. Everyone's new. I just don't think he has that clout to be like, did you see what I saw? Like, go out and pay the money. Like, maybe tonight he does, and he'll say, look, this is what you guys making like the smart investments. This is where you've left me. Everyone knew, from January 1st that we needed 3 or 4 defenders, and we've got one in 2 weeks. So I think he could say, what you saw on the field should not surprise anybody. Mm-hmm. If anything, like Newcastle played up, like we had the same team the last couple of years. They played up to finish 12th or 13th, and that 17th, 18th was kind of like their natural position with this squad. And so we are kind of reverting to the mean. If you kept the squad for 10 years, they might go down twice, So yeah. I think we are seeing the reversion to the mean, and we have. But, for the first time, not under Mike Ashley, we had this opportunity to spend our way out of relegation. And we kind of – what we've brought in so far is smart signings. I mean, to get those 2 quality players for a total of £37 million pounds, you would say that's good business, £37 million for Trippier and Wood. But now we're in the position where you got to spend more than $37 million. Probably break our transfer record twice to bring in Carlos and Botman. But I think you say who else? Why do we have that one itis? I think there's nobody else on the market that can do the job.
No, the thing is, when you look at that team today, there's only out of the 13 players that actually came on that were playing. There was 11 of them were the same players we had at the start of the transfer window who just couldn't do it. We had two. There was only 2 players who were different and playing a different way. You could say that. Joe Linton's a different player than what he was, but they are the same 11 players, bar 2, that got us in this position. So we need to change more than just 2. We need to change 5 or 6.
Yes.
So let's keep our fingers crossed in the next week. Certainly, hopefully before the Leeds game, we've got at least 2 more players. In what positions, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, we need new faces in with a new desire and a new drive.
We can't keep playing the same spine, especially the spine that we've got. We can't.
Yeah.
The spine that we have is like in paralysis.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So we have 16 days. Let's see 16 days what bring us with Newcastle. Hopefully, a lot of better news coming. We still have to not give up. Still have time, and I still believe that we are not gonna be relegated. شكرا للمتابعة. نراكم غدا إن شاء الله في Transferency. Good night.
Good night.